night it's a big night this evening in South Africa. Firstly, started by Signature Auction 26, followed by Bassani playing at 9 o'clock. I think this is the more exciting event. With that being said, ladies and gents, let's get on to lot number one this evening. Lot number one this evening is a 1923 South African Gold Half Sovereign. It is a PF64 graded coin from NGC with catalogue value of over 20,000 Rand. It's not easy to have these 23 half sovereigns, and especially not in an old NGC slab. We're currently bidding at 7,100 Rand. We need 7,500 at 400 a bid now. Or what do you say? At 7,100 now, we go 5 at 1. At 7,100 at 7.5, now at 9, who's got 8,300 Rand? At 8.3, will you go 8.7? At 8,700 at 9.1, will you go 5 at 1 at 5 now? At 9,500. At 9.5 at 9.9, will you go 10,300 Rand? At 9.9, will you go 10.3 at 9.9? What a bargain it is. At 10.7 now, we need it. At 11.1, we need 11.9 at 800 a bid now. At 11.9 at 12.7, the bids are flying through here. At 12,700 now, at 13.5 at 14.3, who's got 15.1? At 14,000 at 15 now, at 16, what do you say? I've got 15,900 now, you go 16.7. At 17.5 now, what do you say about 18,300 Rand? At 18.3, will you go 19.1? At 19.1 now, at 19.9, at 20,700, I need 22,300 Rand. At 22.3, at 23, will you go 25? At 23.9 now, you go 25.5 at just 1,600 Rand a bid increment here. At 25.5 now. At 25 at 7 now, will you go 28,700? At 27,100 now, you go 28.7. Last call. At 27,100. I'm moving over to a fair warning, ladies and gents. At 27,100 Rand, it is going once, it is going twice, and if there is no advance bid, at 27,100 Rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number two this evening is a 1923 South African Gold Sovereign, this time being the full sovereign and not the half, as the previous lot was. Our current catalogue price is at 40,000 Rand on this piece, with only 655 of these pieces ever minted. We're currently bidding at 17,400 Rand. Can we get up to 18,200? At 17.4 now. At 17,400, will you go 18.2? It's a PF64 and an old NGC slab. At 19 now. At 19,800 now, you go 20,000 Rand. At 20,600, at 21.4, will you go 22,200 now? At that now, you go 23,800 at 1.6 a bid now. What do you say? At 22,200. A last call and fair warning. At 22,200 Rand, it is going once at 23.8 now. At 23,800 at 25.4 at 7 now. At 27,000 at 28.6, will you go 30,200 Rand? At 30,200 now, at 31,800, can we get up to 33,400 Rand at 31,800 now? A last call and fair warning. At 31,800 Rand, what a bargain it is at 33 now. At 33,400, will you go 35,000? I've got 35 now, you go 36,6 at 1,600 a bit now. What do you say? At 35,000, last call. At 36 on the buzzer. At 36,6 now, you go 38,200. What a bargain it is. It's a proof 64 coin. It's from 1923. It's one of the big ones. At 36,600, last call and fair warning. At 36 at 38.2 now. At 38,200, will you go 39,800 at 38.2 now? At 1,600 Rand a bit increment here. What do you say? A last call and fair warning. At 38,200 Rand, it is going once. At 38,200 Rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, are we all done? At 38,200 Rand? It is at 38,200. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number three this evening is a 1926 South African Gold Half Sovereign. It's an MS63 in grade. Currently bidding at 6,700 Rand. There's a catalogue at over 8,500 Rand. We're at 7.1 now. Can we get up to 7,300? At 7.1 now, you go 7.3. At 7.1, will you go 3 at 1 at 200 a bit now? What do you say? Last call at 7.1. fair warning. At 7,100 at 3 now. We go 5 at 200, but now let's get to 5. The current asking is 7.5. Fair warning. At 7,300 Rand, it is going once. This is an MS63 coin. At 7.5 now. At 7.5, will it go 7.9? We're not even at the catalog price, and it's an MS63, ladies and gents. At 7,500, last call and fair warning. At 7.5, I'm going to sell it. At 7.7 now, we go 9 at 7 now. At 7.7, will you go 7.9 at just 200 Rand a bit increment here? What do you say? Fair warning. At 7.7 going once. At 7,700 Rand going twice. And if no one wants it for 7,900, it is sold. What a bargain. Well done to the winner. Lot number 4 this evening is a stunning 1966 Reserve Bank of Rhodesia gold 10 shilling coin. There's only 6,000 of these proofs that were ever struck in gold. A lot of them have been melted over the years. Please do see that this comes in its original box. Super nice piece. Let's see if we can do. At 10,000 Rand, do we have an advance at 10,400? At 10,000 now, we go 10.4. At 10,000, will you go 10,400? At 10 now, we go 10 forward 400 a bit now. What do you say? Last call. At 10,400 Rand, we're going to move over to a fair warning, ladies and gents. At 10,000, it is going once. At 10,000 Rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a no advance bid for just 10,000, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 5 this evening is a 1901 to 2001 Great Britain £5. It is graded as a PF68. Ladies and gents, this is a stunning coin. It's over an ounce of gold. But before we get onto this lot, we've got some exciting news. Thanks to the South African Coin Collectors Club, we have got our winner for the little riddle of tonight. And our winner is member number 289. Thank you very much. And we will now proceed with lot number 5. Well done to you and enjoy your prize. Cheers. Lot number 5, getting back to it, is at bidding at 56,000. We're looking for 58,000 Rand now. Just, I want to remind everyone that there were only 2,098 of these proofs ever struck. And it is a PF68. It's over an ounce of gold. Look at this price, 58,000. We're looking for 60,000 now. What do you say? At 16 now, will you go 62,000? I've got 60,000 now. Will you go 62,000 at 60,000? Last call at 60,000 Rand. We're moving over to a fair warning for below gold. At 60,000 Rand going once. At 60,000 Rand it is going twice. At 62 now. At 62 will you go 64. At 64 now you go 66 at 2,000 a bit. Now you go 2 more at 66. What do you say? Last call at 64,000. I'm moving over to a fair warning, ladies and gents, at 64 going once. At 64,000 Rand it is going twice if there is no advance. At 64,000, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 6 this evening is a 1953 South African full gold, silver, bronze coronation medal set. The set is currently bidding at 18,600 Rand. We need an advance to 19,000 Rand. I just want to remind everyone that the mintage on this piece, I just want to make sure, yes, it is 1,000 complete sets only. So obviously in the set you do have the gold, you do have the silver and the bronze. The gold is 19.3 grams of 15 karat gold. Currently bidding at 18.6 now. Let's go for 19,000. At 18.6 now, you go 19,000. Work out that gold value, ladies and gents, and there's 2 other coins. At 18.6 now, you go 19 at 400. But now, what do you say at 18.6 now? The last call and fair warning. At 18,600 Rand, it is going once, it is going twice. And if there is no advance, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Ladies and gents, apologies for that. We had a last second bid come in there. So we're going to have to just give everyone a fair shot. At 19,000, do we have an advance at 19.4? At 19, will you go 19.4 at 19,000? A last call and fair warning. At 19,000 Rand, it is going once, it is going twice. Are we all done? At 19,000? Then it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 7 this evening is an 1892 ZAR silver 2 shilling coin. It is a PF63 in grade. You heard that right. Proof 63. One of just 50 proofs ever minted, guys. Super scarce coins are these 1892 ZAR proofs. This is currently bidding in a bargain of 15,000 Rand. We have a catalogue value of over 70,000 Rand. Let's see what we can do. At 15 now, we go 15,800 at 15 now. At 15,800, will we go 16,600. At 16,600 now, we go 17,400 at 16,600 now. At 17,400, will we go 18,200. At 17,400 now, I need 18,200 at 800 Rand a bit down. Don't lose it, it's so cheap for a proof from 1892. Fair warning. At 17,400 at 18,200, who's got 19,000? At 19,000 now, I need 20,600 Rand. At 20,600 now, will you go 22,000? At 20,600 now, I need 22,200 Rand. We're 1,600 Rand a bid here, what do you say? At 22,200 now, you go 23,800. At 23,800 now, you go 25,400. At 1,600 Rand a bid here, it's a bargain here. At 70,000 Rand catalogue price at 23,800 Rand. At 23,800 now. A last call and fair warning. There's no one want it for 25,400 Rand. I'm going to have to sell it. At 23,800 for the bargain of the night, going once, going twice. And if there's no advance, at 25,400 now. At 25,400 at 27,000 now, will you go 28,600. At 27 now, you go 28,600 at 27,000 Rand. Last call at 27,000. I'm moving over to a fair warning, ladies and gents, at 27,000 going once. At 27,000 going twice. Does no one want it for more? 27,000. It is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 8 this evening, ladies and gents, is an 1893 ZAR gold £1. It is an XF45. We are currently bidding at 14,600 Rand. Who's going to give us 15,000? In an uncirculated value, this coin is valued at 95,000. In EF at 45,000 Rand. The mintage of 61,000 pieces. How many have been graded over the years, ladies and gents? And in G and in VG condition or in X mount condition, or that have already been melted. You know, these things are super scarce, and for it to be going around about the gold price here, in my opinion, is an absolute bargain. It is gold from 1893 at the gold price. Our current bid is at 15,000 Rand. Will you go 15,400? At 15,400 now, you go 15,800. At 15,400, can we get 8 at 400 a bit now? You don't want to lose it for just 400 Rand. Last call and fair warning. At 15,400 Rand, it is going once. It is going twice. If there's no advance, at 15,400 Rand, it is sold. What a bargain, and well done to our winner. And lot number 9 this evening is a 95 ZAR half point. It's an AU 55 coin. Catalogues are over 25,000 Rand in EF condition. We're currently bidding at 7,200 Rand. Can we get to 7,600? I've got 7,200 now. You go 7,600 at 2. Who's got 6? Last call and fair warning. At 7,200 Rand going once. At 7,200 at 7,600 will you go 8,000. At 7,600 will you go 8,000. At 400 a bit down, don't lose it for just 7,600 Rand. Last call and fair warning. At 7,600 Rand it is going once. At 7,600 Rand it is going twice. And if there is no advance bid, ladies and gentlemen, are you sure? At 7,600. Yeah, it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 10 this evening is an 1895 ZAR gold point. It is an AU 55. Stunning coin. You all know how scarce these coins are in mint state, and in mint state you're paying far above the gold price. Here one is below the gold price, sitting at 14,600 Rand. We need an advance at 15,400. What do you say? At 14,600 now. At 14,600 now, he goes 15,400 at 800 a bit now. What do you say? At 14,600. Last call. At 15,400. At 16,200 now, can I get 17,000? It's a 95 point. Some people have started to realize which point it is. At 16,200 now, he goes 17,000. Last call and fair warning at 17. Will he go 17,800 Rand now? At 17, will he go 17,800 at 17,000? Last call and fair warning, ladies and gents, this is a bargain. At 17,000 going once. At 17,000 rand it is going twice, and if there is no advance, ladies and gentlemen, at 17,000 rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 11 this evening is one of my favorites. It's a 1900 ZAR gold bond. It is an AU55 mint era with a cracked die. How nice is that to see? Currently bidding at 15,000 rand. We're looking for 15,800. At 16,600 now. At 16,600 rand, will you go 17,400? At 16,600, I need 17,400, 800 a bit now. It's a 1900 point. It's almost in mint state, and it's a cracked die era. It is graded at 16,600 now. At 800 rand a bit now. I need 17,400 asking. Fair warning. At 16,600 rand, it is going once at 17,400 now. At 17,400, need 18,200 at 800 a bit now. Will you go there? A last call and fair warning. At 17,400 going once, going twice, and if there's a no advance, at 17,400 rand, ladies and gents, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 12 this evening is a Carl Pont. A Carl Pont 1900 ZAR Carl Pont. It is the rimless variety. However, this has some amazing trench art on it. It is Machada Dorp. You can do a little read up on it there. Currently bidding at 21,200 rand. I'll take 200 rand more. Anyone at 21,400? I've got 21,200 now to go 21,400. At 21,200, will you go 21,400 with 2? Who's got 4 with 2 now? At 21,200 now, will you go 21,400? At 21,200, who's got 4 with 2 now? The last call and fair warning. At 21,200 rand, at 21,400 with 21,600, who's got 21,800 now? At 21,600, I need 21,800 at 22,000. I've got 22 now. At 22, will you go 22,400 with 22? Will you go 22,400? Last call and fair warning. At 22,000 rand going once at 22,400. At 22,400 now to go 22,800. At 22,400 to go 22,800 at 4 to go 8 at 4 now. Last call and fair warning. At 22,400 rand going once at 22,800. At 22,800 now to go 23,200 at 22,800 now. Fair warning. At 23,200. At 23,200 rand, will you go 24,000 rand at 23,200? Who's got 4 now? Last call and fair warning. At 23,200 going once, twice now, and if there's no advance at 24,000. At 24,000, will you go 24,800 rand? At 24, we need 800 rand more. Let's get to 24,800. At 24,800 now, you go 25,600. At 24,800, will you go 25,600 at 4 now? Last call and fair warning. At 24,800 rand going once. At 24,800 rand, it is going twice. And if no one wants it for 25,600, it is at 25,600. I've got 25,600 now. At 25,600, will you go 26,400? Just 800 rand a bit now. Don't lose it for 800 rand. A last call and fair warning. One more swipe and it could be yours. At 25,600 rand, it is going once. It is going twice. At 26,400. At 26,400 now, will you go 27,200. At 26,400 now, will you go 27,200 at 26,400 now? Last call and fair warning. At 27,200 now. At 27,200 now, will you go 28,000 rand? At 27,200, will you go 28,000 rand? Last call. I'm moving over to fair warning, ladies and gents. At 27,200 now, going once. At 28,000. At 28,000 now, will you go 28,800 at 28,800? Who's got 29,600? At 28,800 down, need 29,600 at 8 down. Last call and fair warning. At 28,800 rand going once. At 28,800 rand going twice. Will you ever see it again? And if there's no advance, at 29,600 now. At 29,600 rand, we got an increment change now. At 29,600, I need 31,200 rand. Have you seen it before? Will you see it ever again? At 29,600 rand, I got a last call and a fair warning on the board. At 29,600 going once, going twice. And if there's no further advance, ladies and gents, at 29,600 rand, I'm going to sell it at 31,200 now. At 31,200 now, you go 32,800. Who wants it the most? At 32,800, what do you say, ladies and gents? I got a last call and a fair warning. At 31,200 Rand going once. At 31,200 Rand going twice. Is there no advance? Are we all done? At 31,200 Rand it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 13 this evening is a stunning Petersburg £1 government note from 1901. It is an AU 58 in grade. Stunning piece. Let's see what we can do. All right, currently bidding at 2,000 Rand. Can we get to 2-2? At 2,000 now, we go 2-2. At 2, will you go 2-2 at 2? Who's got 2-2 at 2 now at 200? But now, what do you say? A last call and a fair warning. At 2,000 going once at 2-2, will you go 2-4 at 200? But now, last call at 2-4, will you go 6 now? At 2-4, will you go 6 at 200? But at 6, who's got 8 at 200? But now, last call at 2,800. Let's get an even 3,000 at 3 now. What do you say with just 200 but needed now? Last call and fair warning. At 2,850 going once, going twice. If there is no advance, ladies and gents, at 3,000. At 3 now, you go 3, 4 at 3. Will you go 3, 4 at 4? Who's got 8? At 3, 4, you go 3, 8 at 4 at 400. But now, what do you say? Last call at 3,400 Rand. We're going over a fair warning at 3, 4 going once. We're going twice at 3,400 Rand. It is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 14 this evening is a 1900 Anglo-Boer War £100. It is an uncirculated 55 banknote. There's a stunning description written on this banknote there, so please do check it out. And I repeat, it is the £100, ladies and gentlemen. It is PMG graded. It is stunning. Look at that grade for £100. Think of what that could have bought you. All right, at 14,200 Rand, the current bid. Can we get up to 15,800? A bid increment now. Let's get the bids rolling. I've got 15 now. To go 15,800. At 15,800 now. To go 16,600. At 15,800 now. To go 16,600 at 800 an increment here. What a bargain it is. At 15,800 now. To go 16,600. We got a fair warning. At 15,800 Rand, it is going once, it is going twice at 16,600. Who's got 17,400 now? At 17,400, we go 18,200. It's a bargain, it is at this. What do you say? At 17,400 now. Last call and fair warning, ladies and gents, at 4 at 18,200 now. We go 19,000. I've got 19 now at 800, but now we go 19,800 at 800 now. I've got 19,800 now. We go 20,600. We got an increment change at 1,600, but now at 26 now. We go 22,200. What do you say at 22,200 now? We go 23,800 at 1,600, but now don't lose it for that. At 23,800 now. We go 25,400. At 23,800 now. We go 25,400 at 1,600, but now last call is on the board, ladies and gents. We're moving over to a fair warning at 23,800 now, going once. At 23,800 it is going twice. What a bargain it is. If there's no advance, fair warning, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 15 this evening is a 2025 V-Day. It is the 80th anniversary privy. It is gold. It is proof gold. There's 3 fractional Krugerrands in this set. Currently bidding at 16,000 Rand for an absolute bargain. Who's going to give us 16,400? At 16 now, we go 16,400. At 16, will you go 4? We'll take it. At 16 now, we've got a last call and a fair warning. At 16,000 at 16,400 now. At 16,400, we go 16,800 at 4. Who's got 8 at 400 an increment now? Last call and fair warning. At just 16,400 Rand, we're going to have to let it go if there's no advance. It is going once, it is going twice, it's not sold. We've got 16,800 now. Do we have an advance at 16,800? Let's get to 17,200 Rand at just 400 Rand an increment here. Oh, what do you say, ladies and gents? A last call and fair warning. At 16,800 Rand, it is going once. At 16,800 Rand, it is going twice. And if there's no further advance at 16,800 Rand, ladies and gents, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 16 is our next lot for the evening. It is the 2024 D-Day 80th Anniversary Privy Proof Gold Krugerrand 4-coin fractional set. How's that for a mouthful? It is a spectacular set. Super low mintages on these sets. Currently bidding at 50,500 Rand. calculate all the gold you get in that set. You've got the half, you've got the quarter, you've got the 20th and the 50th. Really nice set. Let's see what we can do with it. Currently bidding at 50,500. Let's get to 51,000 at just 500 rand a bid increment here. What a bargain it is. I've got 50,500 now to go 51,000 rand. At 50,500 now to go 51 at 50. Will you go 51 at 50 now? Last call and fair warning. At 50,500 rand it is going once. At 50,500 rand it is going twice. Ladies and gents, if I don't have an advance here, I'm going to have to sell it. At 50,500 rand. Going once. Going twice. Is there no advance? It is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 17 this evening is an 1892 complete circulated coin set. Currently bidding at 23,600 rand at 24,000 rand now. We're looking for 24,400. Stunning set. You get a complete circulated ZAR set there with your 5 shilling, 2.5, your 2 shilling, your tikkie, 6pence, your shilling. And then of course you have your pond, half pond and penny. You're looking for a nice full ZAR set. Currently bidding for about the spot value of just the gold in the set. Never mind all the other spectacular ZAR pieces in the set. Let's get the bidding going here. At 25,200 rand, I need 26,000. At 25,200 rand now. At 25,200 now, you go 26,000. What a bargain this is. It has got a punt. It's got a half punt. The penny and all the ZAR silver. At 26,000, at 26,800 now, you go 27,600. At 26,800 now, I need 27,600. This is the bargain of the night thus far. Last call. At 27,600 now. At 27,600 now, you go 28,400. At 27.6 at 28.4 now, will you go 29,200? At 28.4, it's a bargain, it really is at 28.4 now. Last call and fair warning. At 28,400 rand, it is going once. At 29.2 now, will you go 30,800 rand? At 29.2, I need 30,800, what do you say? At 29,200, last call and fair warning at 29.2 now, going once. At 29,200 rand, it is going twice. Does no one want it for more? At 29,200 rand, one price for all the coins. At 29.2, here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 18 this evening is a stunning 2024 proof quarter ounce. This is the final Paul Privy Kruger Rand. It does come with the certificate from the South African Mint stating that as well. Let's see what we can do here. At 17,400 the current bid. Can we get up to 18,200? I've got 17,400 now. To go 18.2 at 17.4 now. I repeat, this is a quarter ounce of gold, ladies and gents. This is below the spot price of gold at 17.4. Last call and fair warning. At 17.4 going once. At 17,400 going twice. At 18.2 now, do we have 19,000? I've got 18.2 now to go 19,000 at 18.2 now. Last call and fair warning. At 18.2 going once. At 18.2 going twice. At 19 now. At 19 now to go 19,800. At 19 to go 19,800 at 800. But now what do you say at 19,000? Last call and fair warning. At 19,000 rand it is going once. It is going twice. And if there is no advance, at 19,800, I need 20,600. At 19.8 now, we go 20,600 rand. What a bargain it is at 800 an increment here. Last call and fair warning. At 19,800 going once. At 20,600 now, will you go 21.4. At 20,600 now, you go 21.4. At 20,600 now. Last call and fair warning. At 20,600 rand going once. At 20,600 rand it is going twice. If there's no advance bid at 20,600 rand, I'm going to sell it at 20,600. Yeah, it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. And lot number 19 this evening is a 2024 half ounce 80th year anniversary D-Day proof Kruger Rand. With a mintage of just 80, it's seriously scarce and will always be scarce. At 35,500 rand current bid, we're looking for 36,500 rand. At 35,500 now, you go 36.5. At 1,000 rand a bid, yeah, you could walk away with a bargain at 36.5 now, you go 37. At 36,500 now, you go 37 at 6 now, what do you say? Last call. I'm going to have to move over to a fair warning. I've got 37. Who's got 38? At 37, will he go 38 now? At 37, will he go 38 to 37? Who's got 38 to 7 now? Last call and fair warning. At 37,500 Rand going once. At 37,500 Rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, if there is no advance bid. At 37,500 Rand, here it is. Sold. Well done, 12 winner. Lot 20 this evening is a 1926 South African halfpenny. It has the pedigree from the Kleinhans collection. It is an MS65BN. With 65,000 coins minted, there is only one coin in a higher grade. This is as good as it gets, ladies and gents. If you consider yourself a top union collector, this one is for you. At 5,100 Rand, the current bid, can we get up to 5.5? I've got 5-1 now. At 5-1, will he go 5-5? At 5-1, will he go 5-1 now? Last call and fair warning. At 5,100 Rand, if there's no advance at 5-5, at 5-9, will he go 6-3 now? At 5-9 now, will he go 6-3? At down, who's got 3 now? At 6,300, will he go 7-1? At 6-3 now, he goes 7-1. At 6-3 now, he goes 7-1. At 3, who's got 1 now? Last call and fair warning. Only one coin in a higher grade, ladies and gents. It is a massive coin. At 6,300 going once. At 6,300 Rand, it is going twice at 7-1 now. At 7-1, will he go 7-9? At 1, will he go 9? At 1, will he go 9? At 1 now. For just 800 Rand, you don't want to lose it. There's only one coin in a higher grade. Will you ever see it again? At 7,900 now, will he go 8-7? At 7-9, at 8-7 now, will he go 9-5 at 8-7 now? At 8-7 now, will he go 9-5 at 8-7? Will he go 9-5 at 8-7 now? Last call and fair warning. At 8,700 Rand, it is going once. At 8,700 Rand, it is going twice, ladies and gents, if there is no advance. At 8,700 Rand, here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 21 this evening is a 1924 South African silver 3 pence. It is an MS65 coin. Ladies and gents, there are only 2 examples graded finer at NGC, but from 1924 in mint state, it is not an easy coin to find this sticky, let alone being an MS65. You're not going to see this grade in a hurry again. At 4,900 Rand, the current bid, we need an advance to 5-3. I've got 4-9 now. At 5,300 now, we go 5-7. At 5-3, will he go 7? At 3, will he go 7 now? The last call and fair warning. At 5,300 Rand going once. At 5-7 now. At 5-7, can I get up to 6-5? It's worth every cent. At 6.5 now, he goes 7-3. At 6-5, will he go 7-3? At 6-5, who's got 7,300 Rand at 6.5 now? Last call and fair warning. At 6,500 Rand, it is going once. At 6,500 Rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, is there no advance? At 6,500, I'm going to sell it. And it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 22 this evening is a massive union coin once more. Here we have a 1927 South African silver 3 pence graded Bakewell collection. Pedigree as an NS65. It's the second highest grade at NGC with only 1 example higher. So if you're a top union collector and thinking about being the best, this one is definitely needed for your collection. At 4,500 Rand, can we get 4.9? At 4.5 now, to go 4.9 at 400, but now to go 4.9 at 4.5 now. A last call and fair warning. At 4,500 Rand, it is going once at 4.9. At 4.9, can I get 5.3? At 4.9, can I get 5.3 before we have an increment change? Last call and fair warning. At 4,900 Rand going once. At 4,900 Rand for the bargain of the night, going twice. And if there is no advance, I'm going to sell it. This is a real bargain. Wow. At 4,900 Rand, here it is. Sold. Really well done to the winner of that lot. You got an absolute major bargain. All right. We're on to the 1928 silver 2 shilling. It is an MS65 coin. Let me repeat that. MS65 coin, ladies and gents. This is a top pop at NGC. You don't get any better than this. At 36,000 rand, at 37 now. Can we get up to 39,000 rand? At 41 now to go 43. At 41,500 rand. Can we get 43,500 rand at 41 now? It is a massive coin. It is the best ever. At 41,500 now. I got a last call and a fair warning. At 41,500 rand, it is going once. At 41,500 rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, if there's no advance and we are all done at 41,500 rand, it is. Sorry, ladies and gents, we had a last second bid there and I closed the lot at 43,500. We'll take it and continue. At 43.5, will you go 45,500? At 45,500 now, will you go 47? At 45, will you go 47? At 45 now. It's got a catalogue at 30,000 for a normal mint state coin. This is the finest known ever. At 45.5, last call and fair warning. At 45,500 rand, it is going once. At 45,500 rand, it is going twice. And if there is no advance bid, at 45,500 rand, are you sure? I'm going to sell it. At 45,500 rand, one more swipe, it could be yours. It is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 24 this evening is an exceptionally rare coin. This coin speaks for itself. It is the infamous 1946 silver 2.5 shilling in mint state. I'd just like to add, ladies and gents, that this coin is hyper rare in any mint state condition. It's one of 13 coins ever graded in mint state at NGC to start with. And you don't even see these coins in mint state. Super rare coin, and there's only one ever graded in a higher grade. However, to see a quality of coin like this come up for auction is spectacular. At 44,250 rand, for my opinion, the bargain of the night. Can we get 46? I've got 44. Will you go 46 now? At 44,250, I need 46,250 rand, ladies and gents. What do you say? A last call and fair warning. It's not a coin you're going to see soon again. At 44,250 rand, it is going once. It is going twice, ladies and gents. If there's no advance, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Our next lot this evening is a big one, and it is a top pop, ladies and gents. It's a President Viljoen 1 Rand MS66 stand-alone top pop. What does that mean? This is the best graded mint state coin, 1 Rand from 1985. It is a stand-alone because there's no other coin that has ever graded above 65 besides this one. Spectacular lot. Let's see what we can do. Currently bidding at 3,800 rand. Can we get up to 4.2? I've got 4.2 now. At 4.2, at 4.6, will you go 5,000 rand? At 4.6 now, I need 5,000. What a bargain it is. At 4,600, it is the best coin ever known, and none even come close. At 4,600 rand going once. At 4,000 at 5 now. At 5 at 5.4, will you go 6.2 now? It is a standalone top pop, ladies and gents. At 6.2 at 7,000 rand now. At 7,800 at 8.6 now. At 9.4, will you go 10,200 rand? At 9.4, will you go 10.2 at 10.2? Who's got 11,000 rand at 10,200 now? Last call and fair warning. At 11,000. At 11 at 11.8 now, you go 12.6. At 11,800 now, you go 12.6 at 11.8 now. What do you say? Fair warning. At 11,800 rand going once. At 12.6, who's got 13.4? At 13.4 at 14.2, who's got 15,000 rand? At 14.2 now, you go 15,000. At 15 now, you go 15,800 rand at 800 a bit now. What do you say? A last call and fair warning. At 15,800 rand, that is going once. At 15,000 rand, it is going twice, ladies and gents, if there's a no advance at 15.8. At 15.8 at 16.6. At 16,600 rand now, can I get 17.4 at 16.6 now? A last call and fair warning. At 16,600 rand at 17.4. At 18.2 now, will you go 19,000? At 19 at 19.8 now, who's got 20,600 rand? A last call and fair warning. At 19,800 going once. At 19,800 Rand, it is going twice if there's no advance here, ladies and gents. At 20,600 now. At 20,600 now, will he go 22,200? At 20,600 Rand. Last call and fair warning. At 20,600 Rand, it is going once. At 20,600 Rand, it is going twice. If there's no advance bid for 20,600 Rand, it is sold. Well done to the lucky winner of that standalone top. Lot number 26 is next up. Lot number 26 this evening is the spectacular 1819 Moher presidency. This is from the Fame Shipwreck. So nice to see, and very historical coin. Please do know that this coin is of significant value historically. Please do have a nice little read up of what we have said there on it. And it is obviously already graded at NGC with the pedigree. At 24,400 Rand the current bid. Can we get up to 26,000? At 26, at 27 now, will he go 29. At 27, will he go 29 at 7? Who's got 9 at 7 now? Last call. At 29. At 29,200 at 30,800 Rand. At 30,800, will he go 32,400 at 30,800 at 2 now. At 32,400 at 34,000 now. At 34, can I get 35 at 4? Who's got 5 at 4 now? Last call. At 34,000. I'm moving over to a fair warning at 34,000 Rand going once. At 34,000 Rand, it is going twice, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no advanced bid. At 34,000 Rand, here it is. Sold, and well done to our winner. Lot number 27 this evening is a proof sixpence from 1892. This coin doesn't need an introduction. We know how scarce it is with its catalogue value of 55,000 Rand and one of 50 proofs ever struck. It is one of the big ones. At 9,300 Rand the current bid. Can we get up to 9.5? At 9.3, will he go 5 at 3? Will he go 5 at 3 now? At 9.7 now, at 9.9, will he go 10.3? At 9.9, will he go 10.3 at 9.9 now? A last call and fair warning. At 9,900 Rand, it is going once. At 9,900 Rand, ladies and gentlemen, it is going twice. If there is no advance, at 9,900 Rand, are we all seeing this? At 9.9, I'm about to sell it. Here it is. Sold. Well done to the lucky winner of that. Lot 28 this evening is a 92 point. It is a single shaft point. Please do see that. This coin catalogues in a VF condition at over 31,000 Rand. Let's see what we can do here. Currently bidding at 14. Can we get to 14,800? I've got 14 now. At 14, can we get 14,800 at 14 now? At 14, who's got 8? Last call and fair warning at 14.8 now. At 14.8 now, to go 15.6. At 14.8 now, to go 15.6 at 14.8 now. Last call and fair warning. At 14,800 Rand, it is going once, it is going twice. Is there no advance? At 15.6. At 15,600 now, to go 16.4. At 15.6, to go 16.4. It's a single shaft, fair warning. At 15,600 Rand going once. At 15,600 Rand, it is going twice. If there's no advance bid, at 15,600 Rand. Here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Sorry, ladies and gents. We did have a last second bid which came in there at 16,400. We've got to give everyone a fair shot. Do we have an advance for 17.2? A last call and fair warning at 16.4 going once. At 16.4 going twice. At 17.2 now. At 17,200 Rand now to go 18,000. At 17.2 now to go 18,800, but now don't lose it for that. I got a last call and a fair warning out at 17.2 now. Going once at 18,000. At 18 now to go 18.8. Last call and fair warning. At 18,000 going once. At 18,000 going twice. Are we all done? At 18,000? No advance? Here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 29 this evening is a 1928. It is a Clegg £5. Ladies and gents, these Clegg notes are scarce in any condition. Please do have a good look at this Clegg banknote, ladies and gents, at 2,100 Rand current bid. Can we get 2.5? At 2.1, will he go 5 at 2.1 now? Last call and fair warning. At 2,100 Rand, it is going once. At 2,100 Rand, at 2.9 now. At 2.9, will he go 3.3? At 2.9 at 3.3, will he go 3.7 at 3.3 now? Last call at 3.3. fair warning. At 3,300 Rand going once. At 3,300 Rand that is going twice, ladies and gents. At 3,700 now. At 3,700 can we get up to 4,100? At 3,700 will he go 4,100 at 400 Rand a bit now? That's a click. Last call and fair warning. At 3,400 Rand, 4,100 now, will he go 4,500? At 4,100 will he go 4,500 at 1 now? Last call and fair warning. At 4,100 Rand going once, it's going twice if there's no advance. But ladies and gentlemen, at 4,100 Rand, here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Just before we do get on to lot number 30 this evening, ladies and gents, I'll just like to remind you that our next signature auction will be uploaded as soon as this one is finished. So please do have a check out of our most recent catalogs, including our next weekend wonder, which has already been published. So please do go through that auction as well. All right, it's an 1892 pont here. It is a double shaft pont, ladies and gents. This is a mint state double shaft pont. Catalog values at over 90,000 Rand. Super beautiful queen here at 35,750 Rand. Who's got an advance at 36,000? I've got 35 now at 35,750. Can I get 36,750 at 1,000 a bit now? What do you say? I've got a last call on the board. We're moving over to fair warning. If there's no advance, I have to sell at 35,750 going once. It is going twice. And if there's no advance at 35,750, it is. Are you sure? Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 31 this evening is a 2003. It is a South African 20-cent struck on a 5-cent Swaziland planchet. How cool is that? You get an error from two different countries at the same time. Our current bid is at 3,100 Rand. Can we get an advance to 3,300 here? Not something you see every day. At 3,100 now. At 3,300, at 3,500 will go 3,700 at 5. Who's got 7 at 200 a bit now? At 3,900. At 3,900 now I need 4,300. At 3,900 at 4,300 will he go 4,700. At 4,300 will he go 4,700 at 3. Who's got 7? Last call and fair warning. At 4,300 Rand it is going once. Ladies and gents, it is going twice for the coolest coin of the light. And if there's no advance at 4,300 Rand, I'm about to sell it. And it is. Sold. Well done to our winner, and what a bargain there. Lot 32 this evening. There's a big one. It's a 1967 to 2017 South African 1 ounce proof Kruger Rand. This is the vintage restrike with its original box and certificate there. Serial number 852. Let's see what we can do. At 66.5 now, you go 67. At 66,500 Rand below the gold price for the 2017 50th anniversary 67 Kruger Rand. At 66,500 now, you go 67. At 66.5 will he go 67 at 66.5 now. Just 500 Rand in increment here. Last call and fair warning. At 66,500 Rand going once. At 66,500 Rand going twice. Ladies and gents, are we seeing this right? At 66,500 Rand, I'm about to sell it. At 66,500 Rand, here it is. Sold. Wow. What a bargain, and well done to the winner. Lot 33 this evening is something you never get to see. I don't even remember the last time we had one of these on auction. Super crazy difficult to find. It is the 2017 1 ounce platinum Kruger Rand, ladies and gents. Stunning in its original box with its certificate. Here it is. Hasn't come up on the market in South Africa for a while. Been interested to see what they trade at these days. Let's see how it goes. At 51,250 Rand, the current bid, can I get up to 53,000 Rand? I've got 51 now. At 51 now, will you go 53? Do you have one of these in your collection? It's a Kruger Rand. It's made in platinum. Do you think the SA Mint will ever make another Kruger Rand in platinum? I don't know. At 51 now, will you go 3 at 1 now. Last call and fair warning. At 51,000 Rand, it is going once. At 51,000 Rand, ladies and gentlemen, it is going twice. And if there is no advance, are we all sure? Are we all done? At 51,000 Rand, here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 34 this evening is a 2017. There's a 2017 South African Kruger Rand Prestige set. It is all the famous 50th anniversary Kruger Rands in the box there. Your full ounce, your half, your quarter, your 10th, your 20th and your 50th all together. Currently bidding at just 118,000 Rand. What can we do? It's 1.92 ounces of gold, ladies and gents. 1.92. This is a bargain. At 126,000, the current bid now. Can we go 130? I've got 126,000 now. To go 130,000 at 126 now. At 126, will you go 130? The last call and fair warning. At 126,000 Rand, it is going once. At 126,000 Rand, it is going twice. If there's no advance bid, at 126,000 Rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 35 this evening is a big one. It is the precursor to the Kruger Rand, as some would say. The 1960 Transvaal and Orange Free State Chamber of Mines. This is the Afrikaans variety. Please do have a look in the Hearns catalogue at how scarce these are and how low the mintages of these are. How many have made it to surviving into 2026? Nobody knows. At 72,000 Rand, the current bid. The gold price, can we get 73? I've got 72 now. To go 73,000 at just 1,000 Rand a bit increment here. Last call and fair warning. At 72,000 Rand, it is going once. At 72,000 Rand, it is going twice. At 74. I've got 74,000 now. To go 76. At 74, will he go 76 at 4? Will he go 6 at 4 now? Last call. At 76. I've got 76 now. To go 78. At 76 now. To go 78 at 6 now. The last call and fair warning. At 76,000 Rand, it is going once. At 76,000 Rand, it is going twice. If there's no advance bid at 76,000 Rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 36 this evening is a 1967 South African Kruger Rand. It's the big one. It's the first Kruger Rand ever struck. It has all the pedigree. It has the Thunder Spey collection. This is a coin to own just for its pedigree. At 63,500 Rand. Can we get up to 64,500? At 63 now, you go 64. At 63 now, you go 64. At 63, who's got 4 at 63 now? Last call. At 63,000 Rand. We're going to go over to 64 now. What do you say? Last call. I've got 65. At 65 now, will he go 66? At 65, will he go 66 at 5 now? At 65,000, I've got a last call on the board. At 65,000 Rand, it is going once. At 65, at 71 now. At 71 now, will he go 73 now? At 71, will he go 73 at 71? Who's got 3 at 71 now? Last call. At 71,000 Rand. I'm going to move over to fair warning, ladies and gents. Do we see that this is a 1967 at 71,000 Rand going once? At 71,000 Rand, it is going twice. And if there is no advance bid, at 71,000 Rand for the bargain of the night, at 71,500 Rand, it is sold. Well done, child winner. Lot 37 this evening is a 1969 South African 1 ounce Kruger Rand. It is from the Thunder Spey collection once more. It's a PF69 Ultra Cameo. Not easy to find these Krugers in the early years. And this is a 69 proof. Let's see what we can do. Currently bidding at 69,000. Does everyone want to give us an advance to 71? At 69, will he go 71 at 69 now? Look at that pedigree. 69,000. The last call and fair warning. At 69,000 it is going once. At 69,000 it is going twice. If there's no advance bid for just 69,000 Rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 38 this evening is a 2002 felt point commemorative set. This set is 2.1 ounces of gold, ladies and gents. It's trading at a bargain of 119,000. Can we get it up to 121,000? At 119 now to go 121 at 2,000 a bit increment here. At 121 now to go 123. At 121 now to go 123. Do you have a Veldbond set like this? It's a Kruger Rand set commemorating the Veldbond, ladies and gentlemen. There's only 200 of these sets ever struck. So if you have a felt point, you need the set to go with it. At 121 now, you go 123 at 1 now. Last call and fair warning. At 121,000 Rand, it is going once. At 123 now. At 123, can we get 125 now? At 123, I need 125 at 123 now. Last call and fair warning. At 123,000 Rand, what a bargain this is, ladies and gents. It is 2.1 ounces of gold. At 123,000 Rand, it is going once. At 123,000 Rand, it is going twice. If there's no advance, at 125. At 125,000 now, we go 127. At 127,000, can we get 129? At 127, will we go 129 at 7 now? Last call and fair warning. At 127,000 Rand, it is going once. At 127,000 Rand, it is going twice, and if there's no advance bid, at 127,000 Rand, ladies and gentlemen, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 39 this evening is a Winston Churchill, a Life and Legacy Kruger Rand launch set, currently bidding at just 69,000 Rand. Who wants to take us to 69.5? I've got 69,000 now. One of just 300 sets ever struck. You have the Winston Churchill Privy on the Kruger Rand here. Currently bidding below spot at 69. Now we go 69.5. Last call and fair warning. At 69,000 Rand at 70 now. At 70 now, will he go 71? At 70 now, will he go 71 at 1? Will he go 2 at 1 now? At 71, will he go 72 at 1? Will he go 2 at 1,000 a bit now? Will he go 1 now? Last call and fair warning. At 71,000 Rand, it is going once. At 71,000 Rand, it is going twice. And if there is no advance, ladies and gentlemen, at 71,000 Rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 40 this evening is an 1892 ZAR gold point. It is the single shaft gold point. It is bidding at 17,200 Rand. We need 17,600. It is a stunning single shaft. Let me remind you, single shaft in the Ponda is the rare, the super rare variety. It catalogues in an uncirculated value at 450,000 and in EF at 150,000 Rand. This coin is scarce in any condition, and please do look at the coin for yourself, as this one is in spectacular condition for a coin not very often seen. At 30,400 Rand, we need an advance to 32,000. Or what do you say? At 30,400 now, you go 32,000 at 30,400 Rand. I've got 30,400 now, you go 32,000 at just 1,600 Rand a bit increment here. It's a single shaft point, ladies and gentlemen. Last call. I've got 32 now. At 32 now, you go 33. At 33 now, you go 35 at 3. Who's got 5 at 3 now? At 33,600 Rand. Last call and fair warning. At 33,600 Rand, it is going once. At 33,600 Rand, look at what coin it is that is going twice. At 35.2 now. At 35,200 now, you go 36.8. At 35.2 at 36.8, can we get 38,400? At 36,800 now, you go 38.4, 36.8 now. The last call and fair warning. At 36,800 Rand, it is going once. At 36,800 Rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, at 38 now. At 38,400 now, you go 41. At 38.4, will you go 41.6 now? At 32, a bit increment now. At 38.4, will you go 46 now? At 41.6, my apologies. Fair warning. At 38,400 Rand, it is going once. At 38,400 Rand, it is going twice, ladies and gents. If there's no advance, at 41.6. At 41.6 now, you go 44,800. At 41.6, will you go 44.8? Last call and fair warning. At 41,600 Rand, going once. At 41,600 Rand, going twice. If there's no advance bid, at 41,600 Rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 41 this evening is an 1896 ZAR gold half points, an AU 58 in grade. Currently bidding at just 7,300 Rand. Can we get to 7.7? You're not going to get closer to a mint state 96 half point than this. Uncirculated values at 50,000. EF at 25,000. This is an EF plus coin here at 8,500 now. Can we go 8.9? At 8.5 now, to go 8.9. At 8.5, will you go 8.9? At 8.5, will you go 9? At 8.5 now. Last call. At 8-9. At 8,900 now, will you go 9-3? At 9-3, will you go 9-7? At 3, at 9-7, will you go 10-1? At 10-1 now. At 10-1 now, will you go 10-5? At 10-1, will you go 10-5 at 1? Who's got 5 at 1 now? Last call and fair warning. At 10,100 rand, it is going once. At 10.5 now. At 10.5, will you go 10-9 at 9? Who's got 11-3? At 10-9, will you go 11-3 at 10-9 now? The last call and fair warning. At 10,900 rand, it is going once. At 10,900 rand, it is going twice. Are you seeing this? It's an AU 58. At 10,900 rand, going once, twice. And it is sold. Well done to our winner. All right, lot 42 this evening is an 1896 Bond. Now this is a massive, massive coin in mint state. I'm actually going through the photos of this coin now myself, and it is beautiful. So if you see this as a possible upgrade coin here, do go through it. 96 point in such a high grade is never easy to find. Currently bidding at 16,800 rand. Below the gold price, can we get 17.6? I've got 16,800 now. At 16.8 now, they go 17.6 at 16.8 now. Last call and fair warning. At 16,800 rand, it is going once. At 17.6, can I get 18.4 now? Last call and fair warning. At 17,600 rand, it is going once. At 18.4. At 18.4, will you go 19.2 at 800 a bid now? Let's get the bids coming in. It's an AU 58 in EF. It's catalogued at 45,000 rand. This is an EF plus coin. At 18.4 now, you go 19.2 at 800 rand a bid increment now. Last call and fair warning. At 18.4 going once. At 18,400 going twice. And if no one wants the bargain of the night. At 18,400 rand, I'm about to sell it. At 18,400 rand, here it is. Sold. What a bargain. And well done to the winner. Lot 43 this evening is a mint state 1900 pont. It's a big one. It is an MA61 pont all the way from 1900 with catalogue value of over 35,000 rand. We're currently bidding at 18,600 rand now. Who's got 19.4? At 18.6 now. At 18,600 now, you go 19.4 at 18.6. Who's got 19 now? Last call and fair warning. At 20,200 now, you go 21 flat. At 20,200 now, you go 21 flat at 20,200. Last call and fair warning. At 20,200 rand going once. At 20,200 rand going twice. There's no one wanted for 21,000. And if there's no advance bid, at 20,200. Here it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 44 this evening is an 1890. It is a Krikwa town pattern. It is a penny, of course, MS61. Part of the fun display, or was part of the fun display collection. Big name in South African numismatics. Here's a chance to get yourself one of those pedigreed coins, one of just 100 coins ever struck. It is a super scarce coin, currently bidding at 13,800 rand. Can we get up to 14.2? At 13,800 now. At 14.2, at 14.6, who's got 15,000? At 15 now, they go 15.8. At 15 now, they go 15,800. One of 100 of these ever struck. Fair warning. At 15,000 rand, it is going once. At 15.8 now. At 15,800 at 16.6. At 16.6, will it go 17.4 at 16.6 now? It's got a catalogue value in Unca 20,000 rand. One of just 100 coins ever struck. At 18.2, will it go 19,000? At 18.2, let's go 19 at 18.2 now. The last call and fair warning. At 18,200 rand, it is going once. At 19,000. At 19,800 now, who's got 20,600? At 19.8 now, you go 20,600 at 19.8 now. The last call and fair warning. At 20,600 rand. At 21.4 now, you go 23,000. At 21.4 now, you go 23 at 21 now. The last call and fair warning. At 21,400 at 23 at 24,600 now. At 24,600 now, you go 26,200. It's a Cricket Town pattern penny. At 24,600, a last call and fair warning. At 24,600 rand going once. At 26,200 now. At 27,800, who's got 29 now? At 27,800 now, who's got 29 at 27 now? A last call and fair warning. At 27,800 rand going once. at 27,800, going twice if there's no advance, at 27,800 Rand. It is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 45 this evening is an 1890 ZAR pattern penny. It is an MS63 red brown coin. Currently bidding at 8,100 Rand. Can we get to 8.5? At 8.5 now. At 8,500 now to go 9.3. This coin catalogues in an uncirculated condition at 17,000 Rand. At 9.3, can I get 10.1 at 1? Who's got 10.9 now? At 10,100 now to go 10.9 at 10.1. Who's got 9 at 1 now? Last call and fair warning. At 10,100 Rand, it is going once at 10.9. At 11.7 now to go 12.5. At 11.7 will you go 12.5 at 11.7 now? Last call and fair warning. At 11,700 Rand at 12.5 now. Who's got 13? At 12.5 will you go 13.3? It's a mid-state coin. Last call and fair warning. At 12,300 going once. At 12.5 going twice. My apology. And if there's a no advance, are we sure? For this MS63 at 12.5. Ladies and gents, I'm going to sell it at 12,500 Rand. Yeah, it is sold. Well done to the winner. Lot 46 this evening is a 1985 South African gold 1 ounce Kruger Rand with the Thunder Spade collection pedigree. It is a PF66 Ultra Cameo coin. Currently bidding at 64,000 Rand. Can we get 64.5? Far below spot, yeah. At 64,000 now. At 64,000 now to go 64.5. At 64 to go 64,500 now. Last call and fair warning. At 64,000 Rand, it is going once. It's a proof Kruger Rand. At 64,000 Rand, it is going twice. At 65 now. At 65, who's got 66? At just 1,000 Rand, a bid increment here. Let's get to 66,000. Last call. I'm moving over to a fair warning at 65,000 Rand going once. At 65,000 Rand, it is going twice. There's no advance. At 65,000 Rand, I'm going to have to sell it. Here it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 47 this evening is a 2014, 20 Years of Democracy Kruger Rand launch set. This has inside the set, obviously, the 1 ounce Kruger Rand with just 200 of them with that privy ever struck. Very difficult Kruger Rand to find at 63,500 Rand below spot here. Can we go up to 64,500? You do get an ounce of silver there as well. Very limited set. At 63.5, let's go 64. I've got 63,500 now to go 64.5. At 63.5, let's get to 64.5 at 3. Will you go 4 now? What a bargain it is. Fair warning. At 63 at 4 now. At 64.5, will you go 65.5 at 64.5 now? The last call and fair warning. At 64,500 Rand, it is going once. At 64,500 Rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, you want to let a bargain fly? At 64.5, I'm going to have to sell it. At 64,500 Rand, ladies and gentlemen, it is sold. Well done to the winner. Lot 48 this evening is a 2026 Oranje. It is the I Series Color Trial Specimen Set. These notes have been making waves in South Africa with collectors coming from far and wide to try and get themselves a set of the Oranje banknotes or coupon series, what you'd like to call them. Nonetheless, they have a big following, and I'm excited to have this I Series on you this evening at 7,300 Rand. Are we able to get 7.7? At 7.3 now, we go 7.7. At 7.3, let's go 7.7 at 7.7. Who's got 8.1 now? At 7,700 now, I need 8.1 at 7.7. Who's got 8.1 at 7.7 now? The last call and fair warning. At 8.1. At 8.1, will he go 8.5 at 5? Who's got 8.9 at 5 at 9 now? At 8,900 now, will he go 9.3? At 9.3, who's got 9.7 at 3 now? Last call and fair warning. At 9.7. At 9,700 now, I need 10.5. At 9.7, I need 10.5 at 800, a bit increment here, don't lose it. At 10.5 now. At 10.5 at 11.3, who's got 12.1 now? At 11.3, who's got 12.1 at 11.3, at 12.1 at 12.9, who's got 13.7? At 13.7, will he go 14.5 at 13.7 now? At 14.5 at 15.3, who's got 16.1? At 15.3, will he go 16.1 at 16.1? Who's got 16.9 at 9? Let's go 17,700 Rand. At 17.7, at 18.5. At 18.5, will you go 19.3 at 18.5 now? At 19.3, I need 21. At 20,100 now, I need 20. At 20,900, I need 22.5 now. At 1.6 an increment. At 22.5, who's got 24? At 22.5, at 24 now, will you go 25. At 25, will you go 27 now? At 25,700 now, will you go 27,300 rand. At 25,700, last call and fair warning. At 25,700 rand, it is going once. At 25,700 rand, it is going twice. There's no advance. At 25,700 rand, it is. Are you sure? At 25.7, it is. Sold. Well done, 12 winner. Lot 49 this evening is an 1893 ZAR gold half point. I'll repeat, guys, it's a 93 half point. There have only ever been 5 of these coins to grade in mint state. These coins are, unfortunately, all the mint state ones, in very strong collections, and I don't see them coming up for sale anytime soon. And if they do, the price for a mint state 93 half point will make you fall off your chair. Here is an XF40 93 half point available. It is a ultra scarce coin. In VF, this coin catalogues at over 150,000 rand. Here one is, and it's better than a VF. At 28,750 at 29 now. At 29 now, I need 31,750. At 29, will you go 31? At 31 now, will you go 33? At 31, I need 33. At 31, will you go 3? At 1 now, 2,000 a bit increment here. Last call and fair warning. At 31,750 going once. At 31,750 it is going twice. Ladies and gents, is there no advance? At 31,750 I'm going to sell it. At 33. At 33,750 will you go 35? At 33 will you go 5 at 3? Who's got 5 at 3 now? Last call and fair warning. At 33,000 rand going once. Going twice. And if there's no advance bid here, ladies and gents, at 33,000 rand, it is sold. Well done, 12 winner. Lot number 50 this evening is an 1893 ZAR gold point. It's an AU 58 in grade. Stunning coin. You don't get any closer to mint state than that. And I promise you, in mint state, this coin would be going for upwards of 90,000 rand. At 16,800 rand, can we get to 17,600 rand now? At 16.8 now. At 16,800 now, we go 17.6 at 16.8 now. At 17.6 now, at 800 a bit now, at 18.4, who's got 19.2? At 18,400 at 19.2, can I get an even 20,000 rand? Let's make it a nice even number at 20 now, what do you say? I got a last call and a fair warning on the board at 19.2 now. At 20,000 we got it. At 20,000, at 20,800 now, who's got 22? At 20,800, let's get to 22,000. It's an AU 58. It's a pont, ladies and gents. You do not see these coins in high grades. At 20,800 rand now, last call and fair warning. At 20,800 rand, it is going once. At 22.4 now. At 22,400 now, can I get to 24,000? At 22.4, will you go 24 flat? Last call and fair warning. At 22,400 rand, it is going once. At 22,400 rand, it is going twice. This is a big coin, guys. At 22,400 rand, it is. I just sold it, and the last second bid had come in. We're going to give everyone a fair shot at 24,000 rand. Do we have an advance at 25,600 rand? At 24,000 now, we go 25.6. The last call and fair warning once more. At 24,000 rand, it is going once. At 24,000 rand, it is going twice. Is there no advance for 25,600? Then it is sold. What a bargain, and well done to the winner. Lot 51 this evening is a big one. It is a massive one, should I say. Extremely scarce coin is the 1892 ZAR 5 shillings. This is the double shaft, the more scarce of the two varieties. You obviously have the single and the double being the more scarce, with this mint state variety cataloguing at over 60,000 rand. Here one is, we're currently bidding at 27,800 rand. The bids are flying in here at 29,400 now. Can we get up to 31,000 rand? I've got 31 at 32 now. At 32, at 34 now, we go 37. At 34, will he go 37 at 34, will he go 37 at 4 now. At 37,400 now, can we get 40,600? At 40,600 now, will he go 43,800 at 4,600 now? Last call and fair warning. At 40,600 rand, it is going once. At 40,600 rand, it is going twice. And if you don't want a mint state double shaft in an old NGC slab for 40,600 rand, it is. Are you sure? Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 52 this evening is an 1898 gold pont. It is the MS64. Massive grade on this coin. Catalogues at 25,000 in uncirculated condition, and then MS64 is a choice uncirculated coin. Currently being at 22 at 23,000 rand. Can we get to 24? I've got 23,000 at 24 now. I go 26. At 24,600 now, can I get 26,200? At 24,600 rand now, I go 26,200. Last call and fair warning. At 24,600 rand, it is going once. At 24,600 at 26,200 now. At 26,200 at 27,800 now. Will you go 29,400? At 29,400 will you go 31,000? At 29,400 will you go 31 now at 29. Last call and fair warning. At 29,400 going once. At 31 now. At 31 now you go 32. At 31 will you go 2 at 1,600 in increment here. Last call and fair warning. At 31,000 rand going once. At 32 now. At 32,600 will you go 34,200 at 32 now. Last call and fair warning. At 32,600 rand it is going once. At 32,600 rand it is going twice. Ladies and gents, is there no advance at 32,600? Yeah, it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 53 this evening is a 1900 pont. This time also being an MS64. So awesome to see these high grade ZAR Ponda in mint state. This coin catalogues at over 35,000 rand in an uncirculated condition. This being an MS64, will be interesting to see what it goes for. At 27,000 rand the current bid. At 28,600 can we get to 30,000? At 30,000 now. At 30,200 now you go 31. At 30,200 now you go 31. At 3,200 will you go 31 now? Last call. I've got 31. At 31,800 now, who's got 33? At 33,400, at 35,000, who's got 36? At 35, will you go 36 at 35? Who's got 6 at 5 now? Last call and fair warning. At 35,000 rand, it is going once. At 35,000 rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, if there's no advance, at 35,000 rand, I'm going to sell it. And it is. Sold. Well done to our winner. Lot number 54 this evening is a South African back archival photograph. It's a £10, 64 choice, uncirculated. Really nice to see some different pieces. It has been graded at PMG in a spectacular condition. Do take grading costs into account here. At 1,000 rand, can we get 1, 2? I've got 1,000 now. Let go 1, 2 at 1,000 now. Last call. At 1,000 rand. I'm going to move over to fair warning if there's no advance. At 1, 2 now. At 1,200 will he go 1 forward, 2 who's got forward, 2 now. Last call and fair warning. At 1,200 rand, it is going once. At 1,200 rand, it is going twice. If there's no advance bid, I'm going to have to sell it. At 1,200. It is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 55 this evening is undoubtedly our lot of the night. It is a felt pont. From 1902, ladies and gents, it is an MS63 example. Stands for Mint State 63. It's got a Hearns uncirculated value of over 625,000 rand. It's got a mintage of just 986 pieces. How many of them have survived and how few are in mint state? It's the coin we've all been waiting for. Let's see how we do. At 260,000 rand, we're opening the bidding. Who's got 268,000? At 260,000 now, will you go 268,000? at 260,000. I need 268,000 rand at 260,000 rand now. Last call. I'm moving over to a fair warning if there's no advance. At 260,000 rand, it is going once. At 268 now, can I get 276,000 rand? At 8,000 rand a bid increment here. This is a bargain, ladies and gents. Not even halfway to its uncirculated catalogue price. At 268,000, who's got 276 now? Last call. I'm moving over to a fair warning once more, ladies and gentlemen. At 268,000 rand, it is going once. At 268,000 rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, if we do not have an advance bid, and we're all done at 268,000 rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 56 this evening is a 1931 South African penny. It is a PF64BN coin, currently bidding at 13,000 rand. Can we get up to 13.4? This is a big one. It's a 31 proof. As you know, there were only 62 proofs ever minted in 1931. So all these 31 proof coins are exceptionally rare. This is one of the most scarce pennies in the entire South African coin catalogue. At 13,000 rand, can we get to 13,800? I've got 13 now to go. 13,800. It's got a catalogue price of 20,000 rand, and it is worth every single cent of it. At 13 now. At 13, will it go 13.8? Last call and fair warning. At 13,000 rand, it is going once. At 13,000 rand, it is going twice. Ladies and gents, for the bargain of the night, at 13,000 rand, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Lot 57 brings us on to the final lot of the evening. Thank you for joining us for Signature Auction 26, ladies and gents. I would just like to remind everyone that our next signature auction will be published on the platform within the next 10 minutes, so please do check and look out for it. Our next weekend wonder has also already been published on the platform, so please do get your bids in. And once we complete this auction, have a good look. At 16,000 rand the current bid. And can we get to 16,800 rand? This is a sixpence from 1931, one of just 62 ever struck. At 16,400 rand, can we get to 16,800? At 16.4 now. At 16.4 to go 16.8 at 400, but now to go 16.8. Last call and fair warning. At 16.8 now. At 17,200 now. At 17.2 will he go 18,000. At 17.2 will he go 18,000. Last call and fair warning. At 17,200 rand it is going once. At 18,000 can we get 18.8? At 18.8 now to go 19.6 at 19.6. Who's got 20,400 rand? At 20,400 now to go 21.2. At 20,400 now to go 21.2 at 20,400 rand. Last call and fair warning. At 21,200. At 22,000 now can I get 22,800 rand? At 22,000 who's got 22,800 but now what do you say? Last call and fair warning. At 22,000 rand going once. At 22.8. At 22,800 at 23.6 now. Who's got 24,400? At 23.6 now. Last call and fair warning. At 23,600 rand going once. At 23,600 rand it is going twice. And if there's no advance bid at 23,600, it is sold. Well done to our winner. Thank you to everyone for joining us this evening. That has been Signature Auction 26. We will see you tomorrow night for Minted Mondays with John Harmer, followed by Landon's Lots on Tuesday evening, with a timed auction on Wednesday every night at 7 p.m. Thursday evenings we have Treasure Trove Thursdays. Fridays our break day. Saturday we do have a morning slot at 11 o'clock, and Sundays with Weekend Wonders. That has been Signature Auction 26, and we'll see you tomorrow.